Hey friends, welcome back. Today, we're diving into 12 timeless Stoic principles that will completely shift the way you deal with stress, challenges, and even your own goals. Life can feel like a whirlwind. Too much to do, not enough time, and the pressure to get everything just right. Sound familiar? That's where Stoicism comes in. It teaches us to focus on what we can control and release the rest. Simple? Maybe, but once you embrace this mindset, everything changes. Let's start with one of the most powerful ideas. Focus only on what's in your control. We often spend hours, days, even, worrying about things we can't influence. Other people's opinions, random events, or whether things turn out the way we hope. And the cost, our peace of mind. According to the Stoics, we truly control only three things: our thoughts, our actions, and our attitude. That's it. You can't control whether your boss likes your project or whether the traffic clears up. But you can control how you prepare, how you show up, and how you respond when things don't go as planned. Imagine this. You pour your heart into a big work project, but the result isn't well received. The Stoic response: you did your part, let the rest go. Epictetus put it best: some things are in our control, and others are not, and the more we try to grip the uncontrollable, the more anxious and powerless we feel. But when we turn inward, toward our own choices, effort, and responses, we start to feel grounded again. So how do you start? Try this. Make a control list. Write down what's in your hands and what isn't. This alone can bring instant clarity. Practice acceptance. Got stuck in traffic? Plans fell apart. Breathe, accept, and move on. Reframe the challenge. Instead of seeing problems as disasters, ask, what's one thing I can do right now? Even during uncertain times, job loss, pandemics, personal upheaval, those who focused on what they could control, like nurturing their health or learning new skills, came out more balanced and resilient. And here's something important: let go of perfectionism. Many of us get stuck trying to make everything flawless, but perfection is often tied to things outside our control, like how others perceive us. The Stoics say, do your best, aim for progress, and be at peace with what unfolds. Prepare thoroughly, deliver with confidence, then release the outcome. When you shift your focus to what's truly in your hands, three things happen. You feel less stressed, more productive, and way more resilient. And that's just the beginning. Coming up next, why doing your best is essential, but letting go of the outcome might be the secret to real peace. You free up your energy. You're no longer burning out over things you can't change. And that alone brings a clearer, calmer mind. Second, you become more productive. When your attention is locked on what is in your hands, your actions become sharper and more effective. And third, you grow stronger. Life will always throw curveballs, but when you train your mind to respond rather than react, you build real resilience. Letting go of what's outside your control gives you something priceless: peace of mind. That's the Stoic version of freedom. At the heart of Stoicism is a quiet, powerful truth: our thoughts, our actions, and our attitude. Those are ours. Everything else, that's up to the universe. So, the next time you feel overwhelmed, just pause and ask, is this something I can control? If the answer is no, let it go, and if it's yes, then act, and move forward with clarity. This simple shift in mindset could be the start of a calmer, more empowered life. But now, let's take it a step further. What if you gave your absolute best, and still didn't get the outcome you wanted? That brings us to a tough but powerful lesson. Do your best, but let go of the outcome. It's natural to want things to turn out well, whether it's a project, a relationship, or even just a social post. But here's the catch. The result often depends on things you can't control, and that obsession with the end result, It's one of the biggest sources of stress. The Stoics, like Epictetus, taught us to focus on what's within our power, our effort, preparation, and mindset, not the outcome, because outcomes are messy. They depend on timing, people, and chance. The real win? Showing up fully and doing your part with excellence. Then, releasing the rest. Marcus Aurelius put it beautifully. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Imagine preparing for an exam. You study, you practice, you feel ready, but on test day, things go sideways. The Stoic response? You did your part, that's what counts. The grade, out of your hands. Letting go of outcomes doesn't mean you don't care. It means you're choosing to value the process more than the prize. You can start by setting process-based goals. Not, I want to get promoted, but I'll sharpen my skills every week. Not, I want 100K followers, but I'll post value-driven content consistently. Give yourself credit for effort, even when the results aren't perfect. Not everything is about winning. Sometimes it's about showing up with integrity. Take job interviews. For example, you prep hard, show up confident, and do your best, but they hire someone else. Was your effort wasted? Not at all. You can't control their decision, but you can walk away proud of your preparation. Maybe they had an internal pick. Maybe someone else fit better. You'll never know. What matters is this: you gave it everything. And next, we'll look at what keeps that steady effort going, especially when motivation fades, because the secret behind consistent progress is something deeper than just feeling inspired. So, what happens when you stop clinging to results and focus on your effort? Your stress melts away. You're no longer wasting mental energy over what's out of reach. Second, your confidence rises, not because things always go your way, but because you know you gave it your all. Third, resilience grows. You bounce back faster, knowing that setbacks don't define your worth. And finally, you enjoy the process more. When the pressure of perfection is off, the journey becomes more fulfilling. But here's the real breakthrough. When you stop tying your value to the outcome, failure loses its grip. Much of our stress comes from fearing we'll fall short, afraid to fail, to be judged, to not meet expectations. But failure, as the Stoics saw it, isn't shameful. It's information. It shows us what didn't work. Not that we didn't work hard. If your business idea flops, it's not the end. It's feedback. The real question is, what can I learn? What can I improve next time? Shift the spotlight from the end result to the effort and the lessons. In the Stoic worldview, success isn't just about hitting targets. It's about who you became in the process, how much heart you poured in, how you carried yourself, and what you learned along the way. So next time you're working toward a big goal, whether it's your career, a relationship, or a personal dream, give it everything. But don't let the final result define your worth. Your effort, your attitude, that's what matters most. And this leads us to something even more powerful. Because let's face it, you won't always feel inspired. That's where self-discipline steps in. And it changes everything. We left off with self-discipline, the quiet force that keeps you moving forward even when motivation runs dry. But here's another hidden benefit. Every time you stick to something you promised yourself, you build confidence. That inner trust, it compounds over time, and when things get tough, it's self-discipline, not inspiration, that carries you to the finish line. In the long run, success, whether in your career, fitness, or personal growth, is less about bursts of motivation and more about showing up, again and again, even when it's hard. But let's be real, no one's perfect. You'll miss a workout, fall off a routine, or slip into old habits. That's okay. The key is not letting one rough day spiral into a bad week. Don't beat yourself up, adjust and keep going. Like hitting a bump in the road. You don't abandon the drive. You just steer back on course. One major roadblock: procrastination. You know the feeling. You've got something important to do, but suddenly YouTube, snacks, or cleaning the fridge seem urgent. The Stoics would say, procrastination is just discomfort avoidance. But the more you dodge, the heavier the task becomes. Try the 5-minute rule. Just commit to starting for 5 minutes. Often, beginning is the hardest part. Once you're in motion, momentum kicks in, and you'll find your flow. In the end, self-discipline is a superpower. It's what separates the dreamers from the doers. It's not always easy, but it's always worth it. So next time you feel like skipping that habit or delaying that task, remember, it's not about how you feel right now. It's about what you want most. And now, let's talk about something we all face: failure. Not just how to survive it, but how to use it as a tool for growth. Let's say you start a business. You pour in your time, money, and passion, but things don't go as planned. The market doesn't respond. Unexpected problems show up, and it feels like a failure. But the Stoics would tell you, pause. Don't call it a failure just yet. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Maybe your marketing needs work. Maybe your audience isn't where you thought it was. The point is, the setback isn't the end. It's just a chapter. Each misstep brings you closer to what will work. When you stop fearing failure and start embracing it, everything changes. First, you grow tougher. Every time you get knocked down and get back up, you build mental strength. Second, you start taking bigger risks. Once failure stops being scary, you're willing to explore more. Third, you improve faster. Failure gives you feedback, real, raw insight that success often hides. And finally, you let go of perfectionism. You stop chasing flawless results and start valuing progress. And let's not forget the fear of judgment. So many people hold back because they're afraid of what others might think. But here's the truth: you can't control their opinions. Marcus Aurelius put it best: we care more about what others think of us than we do about being true to ourselves. But most people, they're too caught up in their own worries to dwell on yours. The more you let go of judgment, the more space you create for growth. Now, about perfectionism. It's one of the biggest barriers to learning from failure. When you expect everything to go perfectly, every mistake feels crushing. But the Stoics knew, progress matters more than perfection. Learning a new skill, you'll mess up, you'll hit wrong notes, take wrong turns, say the wrong thing, but each misstep teaches you something valuable. Every error brings you one step closer to mastery. Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's part of it. Every mistake, every setback, every detour helps you refine your path. So the next time something doesn't go your way, don't get stuck. Ask, what is this trying to teach me? Learn, adjust, keep moving. Now let's shift to something surprisingly powerful. Not your goals, not your plans, but the one moment that truly matters. Right now. So how do we actually live in the present? Start with your senses. What can you see, hear, feel, or smell right now? Tuning into those simple sensations pulls you out of your racing thoughts and brings you back to now. Another powerful tool: just breathe. Slow, deep breaths help calm your nervous system and recenter your mind. In a world that glorifies multitasking, the Stoics would tell you, do one thing at a time. Whether you're working, eating, or talking with someone, be fully there. You'll be more focused, more engaged, and far less stressed. Let's take a common example. Work stress. Your to-do list is a mile long, and your thoughts are all over the place. Deadlines, emails. What could go wrong? But what if, instead, you focused on just the task in front of you? One thing, one step, That shift, Stoics say, brings clarity and calm, not to mention better results. So why does being present make life easier? First, it reduces anxiety. Most of our stress comes from replaying the past or fearing the future. But the present, it's manageable. Second, it boosts productivity. You're not distracted. You're doing what matters now. Third, you enjoy life more. When you're truly present, even a walk or a shared meal becomes meaningful. And fourth, your relationships deepen. People feel it when you're really with them. Not just physically, but mentally. Still, staying present isn't always easy. Letting go of regrets and future fears is tough. But as the Stoics remind us, the past is done, the future isn't here yet. All we ever truly have is this moment. Let's say you're haunted by a conversation you had last week. Maybe you wish you'd said something different. That moment's gone. So instead of replaying it, ask, what can I do now? Apologize, move on, reflect, whatever it is. It's better than being stuck in what's already over. The beauty of presence is that you can practice it anywhere, not just during meditation. Whether you're washing dishes, driving, or just sitting, bring your attention back to what you're doing. Feel the water, notice the road, taste the food. These little acts of mindfulness make life feel richer. Because the present moment isn't just where life happens, it's where you happen. So next time your mind wanders, pause, gently return to now. Ask yourself, what can I do in this moment? And speaking of letting go, up next, how to stop living for other people's approval and start living by your own values. If there's one thing the Stoics were clear about, it's this: your focus should be on your actions, not on other people's opinions. Too often, we hold back, not because we lack ability, but because we fear judgment, whether it's about how we look, the job we want, or the life we choose. We hesitate, afraid of what others might say, but the Stoics remind us, the only thing that truly matters is whether we're living according to our own values. Their advice? Do the right thing, no matter what. Epictetus said, if you wish to improve, be content to be thought foolish. Growth often means stepping into discomfort. And yes, sometimes that means people won't understand you. And that's okay. Their opinions don't define your worth. Picture this. You start going to the gym regularly to get healthier, but your friends tease you. Why bother? You'll quit in a week. If you're caught up in their judgment, you might give in. But if you're grounded in your own goals, you keep going. Not for them, but for you. Letting go of approval isn't easy, especially in a world where likes and comments seem to measure our value. But there are ways to stay centered. Remind yourself, others' opinions are out of your control. Your actions, fully yours. Stay clear on your values. If something aligns with what matters to you, then it's worth doing, regardless of what others think. Accept that you won't please everyone, and that's not just okay. It's necessary. Take a big decision, like switching careers. Maybe you're in finance, but your passion is photography. You dream of leaving your desk job to pursue it full-time. But then come the voices. You're crazy. That's not a real job. It's easy to doubt yourself. But from a Stoic view, their opinions don't matter. Your dedication does. If it aligns with your values and lights you up, that's reason enough. Once you stop living for validation, life begins to open up. You gain confidence, trusting yourself more with each step. You feel freer, no longer burdened by expectations that aren't yours. You stress less, and you connect with others more authentically. Because when you stop trying to please everyone, you finally show up as your true self. And yes, criticism will still come. The Stoics knew that. But the key is separating helpful feedback from ego-bruising noise. If it's constructive, learn from it. If not, let it pass. Either way, it doesn't define you. Validation is nice, but but dangerous when you depend on it. True confidence comes from doing what's right, whether anyone claps or not. So if you're putting in the work, staying aligned with your values, and no one notices, it still matters. Stay true to your path, not their opinions, because when you stop chasing approval, you start walking in freedom. Now, let's talk about something just as universal, and just as uncomfortable: change. It's the only constant, so how do we learn to embrace it instead of fear it? Change. It's the one thing we all experience, yet many of us resist it. But the Stoics believe that embracing change, instead of fearing it, helps us adapt and thrive no matter what life throws our way. Think about it. How much in your life has already changed? Maybe you've switched jobs, moved cities, ended friendships, or started new ones. Marcus Aurelius said, "The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it." In other words, change is constant, but how we respond to it is what defines our experience. Resisting change only brings suffering. It's like trying to hold on to sand. The tighter you grip, the more slips through your fingers. But when you accept change, you make room for growth, new opportunities, and even peace. The Stoic way: accept change with grace. Epictetus wrote, "It's not events that disturb us, but our judgment about them. It's not the change itself that causes anxiety. It's how we think about the change." If you lose your job, for example, you can spiral into frustration, or you can choose to focus on what's next. You can't change what happened, but you can choose how to move forward. So how do you begin embracing change? Accept that change is natural. Nothing stays the same forever. The more you accept this, the easier it becomes to flow with life instead of fighting it. Focus on what you can control. You may not control a breakup or a missed promotion, but you can control your reaction, your next steps, and how you grow from the experience. Reframe the shift. Ask, how can this help me grow? Even difficult transitions can open unexpected doors. Here's a real-life example. Imagine moving to a new city for work. You're leaving behind routines, friends, and familiarity. That's tough, but instead of focusing on what you're losing, try seeing the move as a new chapter, new connections, fresh experiences, and growth that wouldn't happen if everything stayed the same. The benefits of embracing change are powerful. You stress less. You stop clinging to the past and start flowing with life's rhythm. You become more adaptable. Change doesn't shake you, it shapes you. You build resilience. Each transition you navigate strengthens your mental and emotional muscles. And you find new doors opening, opportunities you wouldn't have seen if you stayed stuck. Now, one of the biggest reasons people fear change is uncertainty. We crave predictability. It feels safe, but the Stoics remind us, certainty is an illusion. Life is always uncertain, and trying to control the future is a losing game. Instead, they taught us to prepare, not with fear, but with steadiness. Epictetus put it this way: difficulties reveal what you're truly made of. Uncertainty is a chance to prove your strength, not a reason to hide. And sometimes, our resistance to change isn't about fear of the future. It's about clinging to the past. We'll explore that next. Why letting go of what was is one of the most freeing things you can do. The truth is, clinging to the past only brings pain. When we stay stuck in how things used to be, we miss the beauty of what's happening right now. The Stoics encourage us to honor the past, but not to live in it. Life is moving forward, and so should we. Conclusion: embrace change. Live fully. Change is life's only constant. And when we learn to accept it, not with fear, but with openness, we free ourselves from unnecessary stress. Whether the change is welcome or not, we can choose to meet it with calm, focus on what we can control, and trust that every shift holds potential for growth. Now let's talk about something just as powerful. Adversity. The Stoics believed it wasn't a curse, but a gift. Your greatest teacher. Life isn't meant to be smooth all the time. And the Stoics knew that. They taught us that adversity doesn't just test you. It shapes you. Every challenge, every setback, is a chance to build resilience, deepen wisdom, and uncover your true strength. Marcus Aurelius said it best. What stands in the way becomes the way. The very obstacle in your path is the path. Think back. When have you grown the most? Probably not during easy days, but in the middle of struggle. That's when your character is revealed and refined. So how do we face adversity the Stoic way? First, see it as an opportunity. Our instinct is to run from pain. But the Stoics flipped the script. They taught that hardship is a mirror. It reflects what we're made of. Take a work setback. For example, a big project collapses. You feel like you failed. But instead of spiraling, the Stoic mindset asks, what can I learn? How can I improve? What will I do differently next time? In that moment, you've already begun to grow. Here's how to build inner strength in tough times. Acknowledge the challenge. Don't deny it. Face it directly. This is your starting point. Control your response. You may not control the situation, but your actions and attitude, entirely yours. Extract the lesson. Every struggle has a message. Listen to it. Let it teach you. Take something real, like financial hardship. Maybe you lost a job. Bills are piling up. It's overwhelming. But instead of collapsing under the weight, the Stoic approach asks, where can I adjust? What's within my control? Maybe that means cutting expenses or finding temporary work. But more than that, it's about who you become through the effort. When you meet adversity with the right mindset, you don't just survive, you grow. You build resilience. Every challenge you face prepares you for the next. You gain confidence. You start believing in your ability to handle hard things. You gain wisdom. Painful moments become lessons that last a lifetime. And you develop gratitude. The good times feel richer when you've known struggle. But let's be honest, adversity stirs emotions. Fear, sadness, frustration. The Stoics didn't tell us to suppress feelings. They taught us to master our response. As Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. So when life gets hard, acknowledge the emotion, feel it, but then, choose your next move with clarity and purpose. And speaking of mastering your response, let's explore how emotional control, done the Stoic way, can lead to deeper peace and lasting strength. When anger hits, it's easy to react impulsively. But the Stoics teach us to pause, breathe, reflect, respond with clarity, not emotion. This kind of emotional mastery is key to building real inner strength. Setbacks aren't roadblocks, they're training grounds. To the Stoics, every challenge is a chance to grow. Wiser, tougher, more capable. They didn't deny difficulty, they embraced it. So the next time life knocks you down, ask, how can this make me stronger? Maybe it's teaching you patience, or resilience, or revealing a better path forward. Take a breakup, for example. Painful? Yes. But it's also a powerful mirror, showing you what you need, what matters, and who you're becoming. Conclusion: adversity builds strength, not weakness. Challenges don't define you, your response does. Every tough moment is a chance to build grit, clarity, and courage. So when life gets hard, pause, breathe, and remind yourself, this is my opportunity to grow. Now, let's move into something that might surprise you. Gratitude, even in the hard times. When life is smooth, gratitude comes easily. But the Stoics believe that its true power shows up when things get tough. In those dark moments, a grateful mindset becomes a light that guides you through. It's natural to focus on what's going wrong when you're in pain. But dwelling only on problems feeds your anxiety. Gratitude shifts your focus away from what's missing and toward what still remains. Epictetus said, "He is wise who does not grieve for what he lacks, but rejoices in what he has." Even when life feels heavy, there's always something to appreciate. Your health, a friend's support, a moment of quiet growth. Gratitude won't erase your challenges, but it helps you see the full picture. Not just what's broken, but what still holds you together. The Stoic way: practice gratitude in every season. Marcus Aurelius, Roman emperor under immense pressure, made it a habit to write what he was thankful for each day. Even in the middle of chaos, gratitude kept him grounded in what truly mattered. Let's say you're stuck in a job you don't love. Maybe you didn't get that promotion. It's easy to spiral into frustration. But from a Stoic lens, there's still room for thanks. You have a job, a stable income, the chance to reassess what really matters, and maybe even time to develop new skills. Gratitude helps you stop chasing what's missing and start recognizing what's already there. How to start, especially when it's hard? Begin with the basics: a roof over your head, food to eat, people who care. Don't overlook them. Look for small wins: a warm cup of coffee, a kind word, a lesson learned. These small moments, when acknowledged, shift your mindset. Practicing gratitude during hardship isn't about denying the pain. It's about finding steady ground, even when life feels shaky. And now, let's take this one step deeper. How to simplify your life, clear the mental clutter, and reconnect with what truly matters. Gratitude isn't just something you do when life is good. It's a habit you build for every season. Try starting or ending your day by jotting down 3 small things you're thankful for. Over time, this simple routine rewires your brain to notice the good, even during hard times. And even in the darkest moments, there's usually a lesson. Maybe adversity is teaching you patience, resilience, or simply a new way of seeing things. Gratitude doesn't mean you're glad the problem happened. It means you can still value what it's bringing out in you. A real-life example: loss. Whether it's the end of a relationship or the passing of someone you love, grief runs deep, but the Stoics would encourage you to reflect. What did that person bring into your life? What did you learn, share, and feel because of them? Gratitude won't erase pain, but it offers peace. Knowing their presence shaped who you are, and their impact lives on in you. The benefits of gratitude, especially in tough times, are profound. Better mental health. Gratitude helps ease anxiety, shift focus, and lift your spirits. More resilience. You become stronger by learning to see the good, even when life feels unfair. Deeper relationships. Gratitude for the people around you strengthens your connection to them. Increased optimism. Even small victories start to matter. And that builds hope. Of course, letting go of the negative is hard. When life gets tough, it's easy to focus on what's missing. But the Stoics remind us, this is wasted energy. You can't change the past or control everything, but you can shift your perspective. Say you're struggling financially. The temptation is to focus on what you've lost, but what if you focus on what's still there? Your health, your drive, your support system. That mindset opens the door to hope. And gratitude isn't just for survival mode. It's for daily life. Bad day or good, there's always something to appreciate. A sunny sky, a kind friend, a small step forward. Train your mind to find those moments, and you'll build lasting resilience. Conclusion: gratitude is a quiet superpower. It doesn't require perfection. It doesn't erase pain, but it grounds you, calms you, and lights the way forward. So next time life feels heavy, pause and ask, what can I still be thankful for? Even a little gratitude can make life feel lighter, brighter, and more meaningful. And now, let's turn to one of the most empowering lessons the Stoics ever taught. You can't control the world, but you can control your reaction to it. Epictetus said, "We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them." That single idea, it's liberating, because no matter what happens, you still own your mind, and nothing outside of you can take that away. Imagine you're stuck in traffic, running late for a big meeting. You can't change the cars, the clock, or the delay, but you can choose your response. Get angry and stressed, or take a breath, accept the moment, and use the time to prepare mentally. The event is out of your hands, but your reaction is entirely yours. Learning to control your reactions takes practice, but it transforms everything. Start here. Pause before you respond. Don't let emotion drive your first move. Create space to think. Ask, is this in my control? If not, shift your energy to how you'll respond. Reframe the situation. Instead of "this is a disaster," try "this is a challenge, and I can handle it." Let's say you receive harsh feedback at work. Your instinct might be to defend yourself, but the Stoic approach says, pause, reflect. Can you control their opinion? No, but you can choose how to respond. If the critique holds truth, learn from it. If it doesn't, let it go. Either way, you stay in charge of your emotions and your mindset. When you master your reactions, things start to change. Less stress. You stop wasting energy on what's out of your hands. Better relationships. You avoid lashing out and build calmer, clearer communication. More resilience. You face challenges without crumbling. Stronger sense of power. You stop feeling like a victim and start feeling in control. Often, our reactions come from a deeper struggle, the urge to control everything. But trying to manage the uncontrollable only leads to frustration. The Stoics taught us, let go. Planning an event and something goes wrong, like the weather or a cancellation. You could let it ruin your day, or you could focus on what you can influence, and let the rest go. The key, learn to respond, not react. Reacting is automatic. It's emotion without thought. Responding is intentional. It's the pause, the breath, the choice. Take being cut off in traffic. The reactive version, anger, honking, shouting. The Stoic version, pause. Ask yourself, will getting angry change anything? Probably not, so let it go, and move on with peace. Conclusion, your reaction is your power. You may not control what happens, but you always control how you respond, and that's where your real strength lies. So next time life throws something at you, remember, this isn't about the event, it's about what I choose to do next. That choice, that's freedom. Now, let's explore a Stoic value that's often forgotten in today's loud, self-centered world, humility, and why avoiding ego traps can make you truly powerful. In a world that celebrates ego, the Stoics quietly champion something far more powerful, humility. Staying humble means recognizing that you don't have all the answers, that learning never ends, and that you're no better than anyone else. Ego, on the other hand, clouds judgment, inflates confidence, and often leads to painful mistakes. Why is ego so dangerous? It whispers that you're above advice, beyond error, and already arrived, but as Epictetus warned, it's impossible to learn what you think you already know. When ego runs the show, you stop growing, you take unnecessary risks, you ignore feedback, and eventually, you fall hard. Humility does the opposite. It keeps you grounded, teachable, open to becoming better. The Stoic way, stay grounded in humility. Even Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, constantly reminded himself of life's fragility. He wrote about staying focused on what really matters. Your integrity, your actions, not fame, not praise. Humility isn't thinking less of yourself. It's thinking of yourself less. It's shifting attention away from status and toward substance. So how can you stay humble in a world that rewards ego? Keep learning. No matter how far you've come, there's always more to understand. Listen more than you speak. Sometimes, listening is the most humble and powerful thing you can do. Welcome feedback, even if it stings. See it as a tool for growth, not a threat. A real-world example: you've just been promoted. It's tempting to believe you know more than your team, but a Stoic leader listens, invites input, and stays open. That's not weakness. It's wisdom, and it earns respect. The benefits of humility are powerful. More growth. You never stop learning. Stronger relationships. People are drawn to those who leave room for others. Better decisions. Ego blinds. Humility clarifies. Greater resilience. Ego collapses when things go wrong. Humility adapts and rises. What about success? That's often when humility is hardest. The applause, the recognition. It's easy to let it inflate you. But Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, all fame is fleeting. Celebrate your wins, but stay anchored in your values. And beware the craving for constant validation. Ego wants likes, applause, approval, but Stoics knew true self-worth comes from within. As Epictetus said, the wise see themselves as always learning. When you let go of the need to impress, you gain something far better: freedom. Conclusion: humility is strength. In a world driven by ego, humility keeps you centered. It helps you grow, connect, and lead with purpose. Ego may bring a momentary high, but humility builds a life of real fulfillment. So the next time you catch yourself chasing praise or feeling superior, pause. Stay humble. Stay grounded. That's the path to deeper meaning and lasting strength. Now, to close this journey, let's talk about the final Stoic principle: patience. Because in a fast world, the best things still take time. In today's fast-paced world, patience feels like a lost art. We're used to instant gratification, fast food, same-day shipping, instant replies. But the Stoics understood something timeless. The best things in life take time. Whether it's personal growth, mastering a skill, building a career, or finding peace, real progress comes not from quick fixes, but from steady, persistent effort. Why is patience so essential for success? Think about your proudest achievements. Did they happen overnight? Probably not. Most meaningful accomplishments are slow, layered, and require resilience. Without patience, we get discouraged, quit too soon, or settle for less. Marcus Aurelius put it beautifully: the art of living is more like wrestling than dancing. Life requires grit, endurance, and a willingness to stay the course, even when results take time. The Stoic mindset: endure and keep going. They called it endurance, the strength to keep moving, even through discomfort. Epictetus said, no great thing is created suddenly. If you want a fig, give it time to blossom, bear fruit, and ripen. It's the same with any goal. Want to get fit? Launch a business. Build a meaningful relationship. It won't happen in a week. Patience gives you the fuel to keep going, even when progress feels invisible. How to cultivate patience in a rushed world: embrace the process. Don't fixate on the finish line. Learn to value the journey itself. Set long-term goals. When your focus is rooted in something bigger, you'll feel less rushed by short-term delays. Manage expectations. Progress takes time. Be realistic, and you'll stay more grounded. A real-world example: building a career. Let's say you're just starting out. The promotions aren't coming fast, your business isn't booming yet. The Stoic way: stick with it. Show up, stay consistent, and trust that your foundation is forming, even if you can't see the results yet. The benefits of patience are powerful. Less stress. You stop pushing for instant wins and find more peace in the process. More resilience. Patience gives you the strength to handle delays and setbacks without giving up. Wiser decisions. You avoid rushing and make choices that align with your long-term vision. Deeper appreciation. Patience helps you savor small wins and enjoy the journey, not just the destination, because in the end, the good things, they take time, and when you let go of the rush and embrace the rhythm of steady effort, you don't just reach your goals. You grow into the kind of person who's ready for them. One of the biggest challenges to patience is our craving for instant results. We live in a world wired for speed, fast food, fast internet, fast answers. But when it comes to the things that matter most, growth, relationships, fulfillment, speed isn't the answer. The Stoics remind us, what's truly worthwhile takes time. Let's say you're learning a new instrument. It's slow, frustrating. Progress feels invisible, but each small step, each mistake, each quiet improvement, is part of the journey. Don't rush to be great. Enjoy becoming better, little by little. Let go of quick fixes. In modern life, we're flooded with hacks and shortcuts. But the Stoics knew, true transformation doesn't come overnight. Whether it's mental health, personal growth, or wisdom, it's a daily practice. There's no magic solution, just honest, steady effort, and over time, that's what leads to lasting change. Conclusion: patience isn't just a virtue, it's a superpower. It helps you stay committed, consistent, and calm, even when results are slow. Life's not a sprint, it's a long, unfolding path. Trust it, stick with it. Every small step matters more than you think. And as we've explored throughout this episode, Stoicism isn't some ancient relic. It's a powerful, practical guide for everyday life. Whether it's learning to focus on what you can control, turning failure into fuel, or staying patient when things move slowly, Stoicism helps you stay grounded and become the best version of yourself. Living this philosophy doesn't mean being perfect. It means making progress. It means learning to master your mind, respond with intention, and let go of what's outside your hands. We've covered a lot: how focusing on what you can control brings peace, why doing your best, then releasing the outcome, is powerful, the importance of self-discipline and patience for long-term success, how failure leads to strength and wisdom, how your reactions, not events, define your experience, and why humility, gratitude, and embracing change are keys to living well. Life will always challenge you, but Stoicism gives you the tools to meet those moments with courage, clarity, and calm. You stop trying to control the chaos and start focusing on what really matters: your actions, your mindset, your character. If this episode helped you, give it a like, share it with someone who might need it, and subscribe for more timeless wisdom brought to everyday life. And remember, true strength isn't about controlling the world. It's about mastering yourself. Thank you for joining us.